Sleep is a biological marvel that governs a third of our lives, yet it is often misunderstood, underestimated, and, in modern society, dangerously neglected. In Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams, Matthew Walker begins his exploration of sleep in Part 1, titled This Thing Called Sleep, by unraveling its mysteries and laying a scientific foundation for understanding its significance. He starts by inviting readers to question their relationship with sleep, a relationship that has been shaped as much by culture and convenience as by biology. When was the last time you woke up naturally, without an alarm, feeling completely refreshed and clear-headed? For most, the answer reveals a grim reality. The world is in the grip of a silent epidemic of sleep deprivation. Walker describes sleep not merely as a daily ritual but as a cornerstone of human health and survival. Modern society, with its demands for productivity, constant connectivity, and the glorification of burning the midnight oil, has relegated sleep to the background, treating it as expendable rather than essential. This collective neglect has grave consequences. Chronic sleep deprivation compromises every aspect of physical and mental health. It diminishes immune function, disrupts metabolism, heightens risks of cancer, and accelerates the onset of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. Even more alarming is its effect on mortality, where insufficient sleep shortens life expectancy significantly. Walker paints a stark picture of a society that is systematically eroding its own well-being in favor of late-night work hours, artificial light, and screens. The science of sleep begins with understanding its rhythms. At the core of human biology lies the circadian rhythm, a 24-hour internal clock that governs sleep-wake cycles, eating habits, hormonal balance, and even body temperature. Walker likens the circadian rhythm to a metronome, one that ticks ceaselessly whether we are awake or asleep. This internal clock is fine-tuned by environmental cues such as daylight, but it is also remarkably self-sufficient. In fascinating experiments with plants and humans, scientists have discovered that this clock operates independently of external stimuli, a testament to its evolutionary importance. Another factor determining sleepiness is the buildup of a chemical called adenosine. The longer we remain awake, the more adenosine accumulates in the brain, creating a pressure that compels us to sleep. This sleep pressure resets during sleep, preparing us for the next day. However, substances like caffeine interfere with this process by blocking adenosine receptors, fooling the brain into feeling awake while masking the actual need for rest. Walker explains that this is why caffeine consumption, though widely embraced, often leads to a chronic cycle of dependency, disrupting natural sleep patterns and deepening the sleep crisis. In his examination of the architecture of sleep, Walker reveals its complexity and elegance. Sleep unfolds in distinct stages: non-REM sleep and REM sleep, each cycling in roughly 90-minute intervals throughout the night. Non-REM sleep is the deep, restorative phase where the body repairs tissues, consolidates memories, and resets metabolic systems. REM sleep, by contrast, is the stage of vivid dreams, emotional processing, and heightened brain activity, akin to a waking state. Together, these stages form a symphony of physiological and psychological renewal. They are not merely rest periods but essential processes that determine the quality of our waking lives. Walker also takes us beyond humans, into the animal kingdom, to highlight the universality and diversity of sleep. From dolphins that sleep with one hemisphere of their brain at a time, to migrating birds that nap mid-flight, he demonstrates how sleep has evolved uniquely across species to balance the competing demands of survival and restoration. The idea that sleep is a luxury or an evolutionary anomaly is swiftly dismantled. Every species, regardless of its ecological niche, exhibits some form of sleep, reinforcing its profound biological necessity. Perhaps one of the most compelling discussions in this section is the evolutionary mystery of sleep. Walker asks the question, why would nature design such a vulnerable state? When asleep, humans and animals alike are unable to forage, reproduce, or defend themselves. From an evolutionary perspective, sleep appears to be an enormous liability. Yet, its persistence across billions of years of evolution suggests that its benefits far outweigh its risks. Sleep, as Walker describes, is not a passive state but an active and indispensable process, one that may be evolution's greatest achievement. In Part 1, Walker does more than explain sleep. He reintroduces it to readers as a vital component of life. By drawing from cutting-edge neuroscience and evolutionary biology, he shifts the narrative around sleep from one of indulgence to one of necessity. He argues convincingly that our modern disregard for sleep is a dangerous departure from our biological heritage. With each chapter, Walker constructs a foundation for the rest of the book, compelling readers to confront their own habits and the societal norms that undervalue this essential function. As we journey deeper into the science and power of sleep, the urgency of his message becomes clear. To unlock the full potential of our minds and bodies, we must first reclaim the simple, profound act of sleeping. In Part 2 of Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams, Matthew Walker shifts from the foundational understanding of sleep to its profound implications for our health and well-being. This section, titled Why Should You Sleep?, explores the astonishing benefits sleep offers to the brain and body, as well as the devastating consequences of sleep deprivation. Through a wealth of scientific evidence, Walker illustrates why sleep is not just a passive state of rest but an active, multifaceted process essential for survival. Walker begins by highlighting sleep's critical role in brain function. Sleep, particularly deep non-REM sleep, acts as a mental reset button, fortifying learning and memory. The brain, throughout the day, is bombarded with vast amounts of information, and it is during sleep that this input is filtered and organized. Non-REM sleep solidifies factual memories, while REM sleep integrates them with prior knowledge, fostering creative insights and problem-solving. Walker compares the brain to a sponge, saturated with water by day and wrung out during sleep, ready to absorb more the next day. This process is not just about remembering, it's about making sense of the world, seeing patterns, and drawing connections that would remain elusive without the restorative power of sleep. However, when sleep is disrupted or shortened, this process breaks down. Sleep deprivation hampers the hippocampus, the brain's memory inbox, making it difficult to retain new information. Walker cites studies showing that sleep-deprived individuals perform significantly worse on learning tasks compared to those who've had a full night's sleep. Even a single night of insufficient sleep can impair cognitive abilities, leaving the brain sluggish and unfocused. For students, professionals, and anyone relying on mental sharpness, the implications are profound. Sleep is not optional. It is the foundation of intellectual capacity. Beyond memory, Walker delves into sleep's impact on emotional health. REM sleep, often referred to as the brain's emotional first aid, helps process and soothe emotional experiences. During REM sleep, the brain's stress-related chemicals, such as norepinephrine, are suppressed, creating a calm environment where the mind can reprocess difficult events. This is why a good night's sleep often leaves one feeling emotionally rejuvenated and better equipped to handle challenges. Conversely, sleep deprivation amplifies emotional reactivity. Walker describes how a lack of sleep increases activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, while weakening connections to the prefrontal cortex, which governs rational decision-making. This imbalance explains why sleep-deprived individuals are more likely to lash out, overreact, or spiral into anxiety and depression. The consequences of insufficient sleep extend beyond the brain, profoundly affecting physical health. Walker meticulously outlines the intricate relationship between sleep and the immune system. During sleep, particularly deep non-REM sleep, the body boosts the production of immune cells, enhancing its ability to fend off infections. Sleep deprivation, however, weakens these defenses, leaving the body vulnerable. Walker references studies showing that individuals who sleep fewer than 6 hours a night are significantly more likely to catch colds and other illnesses. Chronic sleep loss even accelerates the progression of diseases like cancer, as it undermines the body's natural ability to detect and destroy malignant cells. Sleep also regulates metabolic health. Walker explains how insufficient sleep disrupts the balance of hunger-regulating hormones, increasing levels of ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, and decreasing levels of leptin, which signals satiety. This hormonal imbalance drives overeating and weight gain, contributing to the global obesity epidemic. Furthermore, sleep deprivation interferes with insulin regulation, raising blood sugar levels and heightening the risk of type 2 diabetes. It is not just diet and exercise that determine metabolic health. Sleep is the third pillar, as critical as the other two, if not more so. The heart and circulatory system also rely on sleep for optimal function. Walker describes how sleep lowers blood pressure and reduces heart rate, giving the cardiovascular system a nightly reprieve. Chronic sleep deprivation, however, keeps the heart under constant strain, increasing the risk of hypertension, heart attacks, and strokes. Even the seasonal shift caused by daylight saving time, which robs people of just 1 hour of sleep, is associated with a spike in heart attacks the following day. Such findings underscore the fragility of our bodies when deprived of adequate rest. Walker does not shy away from the stark reality of sleep deprivation's toll on longevity. Sleep loss shortens life expectancy, not only through the gradual wear and tear on the body but also through immediate risks. Drowsy driving, for example, accounts for thousands of accidents and fatalities each year, often exceeding those caused by alcohol or drugs. Walker presents these facts not to alarm but to emphasize the dire need to prioritize sleep in a culture that undervalues it. The central message of Part 2 is clear. Sleep is the foundation of health. It is not merely a time of inactivity but a vital process that touches every aspect of our physical and mental well-being. To neglect sleep is to undermine the very systems that sustain life. Walker's exploration of the benefits of sleep is as inspiring as his warnings about the consequences of deprivation are sobering. In a world that glorifies productivity and undervalues rest, he calls for a profound cultural shift, one that recognizes sleep as the ultimate performance enhancer and the cornerstone of a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. In Part 3 of Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams, Matthew Walker dives into the captivating realm of dreams, exploring the mechanisms and mysteries of REM sleep and its impact on our emotional, cognitive, and creative lives. Titled How and Why We Dream, this section uncovers the hidden layers of our nighttime experiences, revealing how dreams serve as both a psychological therapist and a source of innovative breakthroughs. Walker begins by explaining the physiological underpinnings of REM sleep, the stage during which most dreaming occurs. Unlike the restorative functions of non-REM sleep, REM sleep is marked by heightened brain activity that closely resembles wakefulness. The body, however, is paralyzed during this stage, a protective mechanism that prevents us from physically acting out our dreams. Walker describes REM sleep as a virtual reality chamber, where the brain processes emotions, replays memories, and stitches together fragments of experience into a coherent narrative. This unique state allows the brain to experiment, simulate scenarios, and explore emotions in a safe and controlled environment. One of the most profound functions of REM sleep and dreaming is its role in emotional regulation. Walker describes how dreams act as a form of overnight therapy, helping to process difficult emotions and traumatic experiences. During REM sleep, levels of stress-related chemicals, such as norepinephrine, are significantly reduced, creating a calm and open state in the brain. This chemical environment allows us to revisit painful memories without the overwhelming emotional charge they might carry during waking hours. Walker highlights studies showing that individuals who get adequate REM sleep are better able to cope with emotional stress, while those deprived of REM sleep often experience heightened anxiety, irritability, and difficulty processing emotions. In this sense, dreams are not merely passive reflections of our thoughts but active participants in our mental health. Dreaming also plays a crucial role in memory and learning, particularly in integrating new information with existing knowledge. Walker explains how REM sleep fosters creativity by blending disparate ideas into novel combinations, often leading to insights that elude us during waking hours. He shares examples of historical figures, such as Paul McCartney and Dmitri Mendeleev, whose groundbreaking creations The Melody for Yesterday and the Periodic Table of Elements, respectively, were born from dreams. This creative power of dreaming underscores its evolutionary value. By allowing the brain to think outside conventional patterns, REM sleep equips us with the ability to adapt, innovate, and solve complex problems. Walker also delves into the peculiar and often surreal nature of dreams. He notes how dreams frequently defy logic, bend the laws of physics, and feature bizarre or emotionally charged scenarios. This lack of rationality, far from being a flaw, is one of the hallmarks of REM sleep. The brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for critical thinking and decision-making, becomes less active during REM sleep, while emotional and associative regions of the brain, such as the amygdala and hippocampus, become more active. This shift allows the mind to explore possibilities unconstrained by the rules of reality, fostering a rich tapestry of imaginative experiences. Lucid dreaming, a phenomenon in which individuals become aware that they are dreaming and can sometimes exert control over their dreams, is another intriguing topic Walker explores. While the scientific understanding of lucid dreaming is still developing, Walker highlights its potential benefits, such as improving emotional resilience and even treating nightmares. Lucid dreaming, he suggests, offers a unique opportunity to engage consciously with the dream world, blending the creativity of REM sleep with the agency of waking thought. In discussing the societal implications of dreaming, Walker laments how modern lifestyles often curtail REM sleep, depriving us of its benefits. The use of alcohol, for instance, disrupts the normal sleep cycle, disproportionately suppressing REM sleep and diminishing its therapeutic and creative potential. Similarly, the pervasive underestimation of sleep's value in educational and professional settings robs individuals of the opportunity to harness their full intellectual and emotional capabilities. Walker argues that neglecting REM sleep is akin to sabotaging one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and problem-solving that evolution has provided. The mysteries of dreaming are far from fully understood, but Walker's exploration of REM sleep illuminates its profound significance in our lives. Dreams, as he describes them, are far more than idle mental wanderings. They are essential processes that shape our emotions, sharpen our intellect, and fuel our creativity. REM sleep serves as a nightly workshop where the mind can heal, innovate, and prepare for the challenges of the waking world. By the end of this section, Walker leaves readers with a deep appreciation for the enigmatic beauty of dreaming. It is not merely a byproduct of sleep but one of its crowning achievements, a gift that enhances every dimension of our waking lives. Through his vivid explanations and compelling evidence, Walker challenges us to reframe our understanding of sleep and dreams, urging us to cherish and protect this remarkable aspect of human experience. As we turn off the lights and drift into the world of dreams each night, we are not retreating from life, but engaging with it in one of the most profound and transformative ways imaginable. In Part 4 of Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams, Matthew Walker brings his exploration to its most practical and urgent focus: how sleep, or the lack thereof, shapes society. Titled From Sleeping Pills to Society Transformed, this section tackles the broader implications of sleep in modern life, delving into the systemic barriers to healthy sleep, the dangers of sleep disorders, and the misguided approaches that often worsen the problem. Walker's tone becomes both a call to action and a plea for societal change, as he presents a compelling argument for why prioritizing sleep is not just a personal choice but a public responsibility. Walker begins by examining the spectrum of sleep disorders that plague millions of people worldwide, from insomnia to sleep apnea to narcolepsy. These conditions are not just inconveniences. They are debilitating illnesses that compromise health, safety, and quality of life. Insomnia, the most common sleep disorder, is a vicious cycle of stress and sleeplessness, where the fear of not sleeping becomes the very thing that prevents rest. Sleep apnea, on the other hand, is a more insidious condition, characterized by repeated interruptions in breathing during sleep. These pauses deprive the body of oxygen, leading to fragmented sleep and serious health risks, including cardiovascular disease and stroke. Narcolepsy, though rarer, is equally devastating, as it disrupts the brain's ability to regulate sleep-wake cycles, causing sudden and uncontrollable sleep episodes. Walker underscores the urgent need for greater awareness, research, and treatment options for these disorders, emphasizing that they are not personal failings but medical conditions that deserve serious attention. The discussion then shifts to the cultural and technological factors that interfere with sleep. Walker critiques the modern world's pervasive reliance on technology, particularly the use of screens before bedtime. Devices like smartphones and tablets emit blue light, which suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that signals to the brain that it is time to sleep. This delay in melatonin release can push bedtimes later and reduce overall sleep duration, a pattern that is especially problematic for children and teenagers. Walker also explores how societal pressures, such as long work hours, shift work, and the glorification of busyness, exacerbate sleep deprivation. He notes how sleep has come to be seen as expendable, a luxury rather than a necessity, in cultures that prioritize productivity over well-being. A major focus of this section is the widespread use of sleeping pills and their unintended consequences. While these medications are often prescribed to combat insomnia, Walker reveals that they do not produce natural sleep. Instead, they sedate the brain, suppressing the vital stages of non-REM and REM sleep. As a result, individuals taking sleeping pills may feel they have slept, but their bodies and brains do not reap the restorative benefits of true sleep. Moreover, sleeping pills come with a host of side effects, including dependency, cognitive impairment, and increased mortality risk. Walker advocates for alternative treatments such as cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, which targets the root causes of sleep problems rather than masking them with medication. CBTI, he argues, is a far more effective and sustainable solution, addressing both the psychological and behavioral factors that disrupt sleep. Walker extends his critique to institutions that fail to prioritize sleep, particularly in medicine and education. He highlights the grueling schedules of medical professionals, where sleep-deprived doctors are expected to make life-and-death decisions despite their compromised cognitive abilities. Similarly, he laments the early start times of schools, which deprive teenagers of the sleep they need during a critical period of brain development. These systemic failures, Walker argues, are not only detrimental to individuals but also costly to society as a whole, leading to reduced productivity, increased accidents, and higher healthcare expenditures. Yet Walker is not without hope. He points to organizations like Google and NASA, which have embraced the importance of sleep and implemented policies to support it. These institutions offer flexible work schedules, on-site nap pods, and education about the value of sleep, setting an example for how workplaces can prioritize employee well-being without sacrificing performance. Walker envisions a future where society recognizes sleep as a public health priority, comparable to the anti-smoking campaigns of the past. By educating the public, enacting policy changes, and fostering a cultural shift, he believes it is possible to reverse the global sleep crisis. In the concluding chapter of this section, Walker presents a vision for a sleep-positive society. He calls for practical measures, such as later school start times, public awareness campaigns, and incentives for workplaces to promote healthy sleep habits. He argues that such changes would not only improve individual health and happiness, but also yield significant economic benefits. Better sleep leads to better decision-making, fewer accidents, and higher productivity, a win for individuals, organizations, and nations alike. Part 4 of Why We Sleep is both sobering and inspiring. Walker lays bare the systemic forces that undermine sleep while offering tangible solutions to address them. His message is clear. Sleep is not just a personal matter. It is a societal issue that demands collective action. By rethinking our approach to sleep, we can unlock its full potential not only for our own lives but for the betterment of society as a whole. In a world that often treats sleep as expendable, Walker's plea is urgent and essential. It is time to wake up to the transformative power of sleep. In Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep in Dreams, Matthew Walker delivers an urgent and compelling message. Sleep is the cornerstone of human health, creativity, and survival, yet it remains one of the most undervalued aspects of modern life. Through a masterful blend of scientific insight and practical wisdom, Walker reveals how sleep impacts every dimension of our well-being, from emotional resilience and cognitive function to physical health and societal productivity. He highlights not only the dangers of neglecting sleep but also the profound benefits of embracing it, framing sleep as a non-negotiable biological necessity rather than a luxury. Walker's exploration spans the microscopic workings of the brain during REM sleep to the macro-level consequences of sleep deprivation on society. He offers both a wake-up call and a hopeful vision for change, urging individuals, organizations, and governments to rethink their approach to sleep. By prioritizing rest, we unlock the full potential of our bodies and minds, forging a path toward healthier, more balanced, and more innovative lives. The conclusion is clear. Sleep is not optional, it is the most powerful tool we have for thriving in every aspect of life.